ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यत इति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are seeing the answers given to the objections raised earlier. What were the objections? The objections were raised upon the two parts of definition of moksha. The earlier part, where it was said the atyantika dukkha nivrutti, and the second was paramananda vapti. So jagan nivrutti and paramananda vapti were the two parts of definition of moksha, and based on the invalidity of both definitions, moksha is not possible, and because moksha is not possible, a mumukshu cannot be there, was established by the opponent. The second argument which was raised was the adhikari, the eligible person as it has been described by you, that eligible person itself is not available. Excuse me. Such an eligible person, such an adhikari itself is not available. Why is he not available? Because there is no one who will desire for unsurpassed happiness. No one can desire moksha. Why? Because everybody desires vishaya sukha, sense pleasures, and because this sense pleasure is not there in moksha, mumukshu cannot be there. Additionally, a reason was given that because of these desires for sense pleasures, whose mind is riddled with those pleasures or the desires for those pleasures, cannot have shama dama, the qualities as were described by you, and because those qualities cannot be seen in a person, the adhikari cannot be there. The person as defined by you cannot be there. On which the answers were given. One part of the answer we had seen that what you had established, that nitya nivrutti rupa prayojanamapi yuktamevoktam iti uchyate. Nobody desires for atyantika dukkha nivrutti paramananda vapti. Sorry, nobody desires for destruction of ignorance along with its effect for cessation of sorrows. Here, the answer was given that it is true that nobody may desire for cessation of destruction of ignorance, etc., for cessation of sorrow, but when they understand by the methods available, such as taking medicines for sickness, eating food for hunger, thirst, etc., all those methods, all those solutions, all those means are incapable of removing that cause of sorrow permanently, or that sorrow permanently. And when he understands that the reason, the root cause, or as it was said, the material cause, the root cause for that sorrow or for all these sorrows, that is adhyatmika, adhidaivika and adhibhautika. coming from three different sources: physical, metaphysical, if you want to say in English, and by one's own self. From all these three sources, the sorrows which are received, the cause is in ajnana. And whatever the knowledge, whatever the solutions that may use, all those solutions by themselves fall into the category of ignorance, which we had established and analyzed by the dialogue between Narada and Sanat Kumara, where Narada said that I have known so many things, but still I grieve. I am still sorrowful. Why? There, Sanat Kumara Rishi said, sage said to him, Narada, that whatever that you have known, it is namaiva tat. It is part of ignorance itself. It is not atma jnana. Whatever that you have known is just shabda, the words. You have not known the meaning. And therefore, you should gain atma jnana. Now, why atma jnana should be gained? Because bhumaiva sukham, that atma, that bhuma, it is unsurpassed happiness. Tamma Bhagavan, when he said Shokasya param tarayatu, now it is continued. What is the essence of their dialogue? Atrayam arthaha sakalakalaabhijnaha api naradaha atmanam shokakrantam eva pashyat. Sakalakalaabhijnaha, he has mastery in all arts, all fields of sciences, all fields of knowledge. Narada knows everything except Brahmajnana. Still, Atmanam himself, Shoka Krantam eva Pashyat. He saw himself as riddled with sorrow, full of sorrow. For that, he said, Nisheshataha Shokatarnam cha Atmajnana Nanyataha Bhavati iti Shrutavanscha. And there he heard, even after knowing all these things, the only way to cross over all the sorrows that I experience, nisheshataha shokataranam, to cross over sorrows completely, the only means available is atmajnana. Other than atmajnana, other atmajnanat anyataha. Atmajnananyataha is atmajnanat na anyataha. Anyataha other, na anyataha no other. There is no other way than atmajnana to cross over this sorrowful state or all these sorrows. Iti shrutavansha. In this way he heard. Tataha cha, therefore, atmanaha shokanidana jnana nivruttaye आत्मज्ञानलाभाय च सनत्कुमारं पप्रच्छ तम्मा भगवान शोकस्य पारं तारयतु. तम्मा भगवान शोकस्य पारं तारयतु. ततः च, therefore, आत्मनः, his own, shoka nidana jnana nivruttaye. He understood shoka nidana. Nidana is cause. Nidana is cause. Shoka, shokasya nidana. The cause of sorrow. What is that? Ajnana. The ignorance was the cause of all sorrows. Tan nivruttaye, for destruction of that ajnana, and atmajnana labhaya cha. And how that destruction will take place? By atmajnana. So for the sake of destruction, gaining atmajnana, to gain atmajnana, atmajnana labhaya cha, Narada Maharshi Sanat Kumaram papracha, he asked Sanat Kumara Maharshi, Tamma Bhagavan Shokasya Param Tarayatu. To that me, who is full of sorrow, please lead me across this ocean of sorrow. Please take me across these sorrows. Such then to him, Aneka sadhanopadeshanantaram shokashoonyam aparichinnam निरतिशय सुखस्वरूपं भूमानम् उपदिश्य ततः अन्यत् सर्वदृश्यजातं परिच्छिन्नं दुःखमेवेति भूमा तु ब्रह्मैव इति अवोचत इति च अवोचत. And after that, what was taught to him? Aneka sadhanopadeshanantaram. Many different sadhanas, many different intermediary means were given. Why were they given? For Chitta Shuddhi. It is not that Narada Maharshi did not have Chitta Shuddhi, but those who require for them, those means were given. Shoka Shunyam Aparichinnam. That which is Shoka Shunya, where Shoka is not there. Aparichinna, that which is not limited. Because we have analyzed anything and everything which is limited will have sorrow adjoining that. Niratishaya Sukhaswarupam. It is a very beautiful word. We may have used in Hindi or in our own colloquial languages as Niratishaya. But Atishaya, that which crosses over, that which can cross over. Niratishaya, that which cannot be crossed over. Unsurpassed. Sukhaswarupam. Happiness nature. The nature of happiness principle. Sukhaswarupa. Bhumanam upadishya. That Bhumanam upadishya. Teaching that Bhuma Tattva. What is that Bhuma? Which is Shoka Shunya, Aparichinna, Niratishaya Sukhaswarupa. There where no sorrow is there, Aparichinna, which is limitless, and that which is Sukha Swarupa, nature of unsurpassed happiness, and anything and everything other than that. Tataha Anyat, whatever that is different from Bhuma, what is that? Sarva Drishya Jatam, everything born Drishya Jatam, born of Drishya, that which can be seen, heard, tasted, felt, etc. That which can be known by senses including mind. Because mind is the sixth indriya, as it has been explained in Bhagavad Gita. Mana shashthani indriyani. Mana is not the means of knowledge as in senses, organs of knowledge, but it does help us in gaining jnana. That's a different topic. But anything and everything which can be experienced through our mind and our senses, parichinnam, it is limited, and dukkham eva, it is nothing but sorrow. And what is that Bhuma? Bhuma tu Brahma eva iti cha avochat. And Bhuma is nothing but Brahman. In short, to Narada, Sanat Kumara Maharshi told that Bhuma is Brahman, which is of the nature of unsurpassed happiness. There are no sorrows. There is no space or place for sorrow to be existent in Brahman. And that Bhuma is aparichinna, limitless. Anything and everything which is other than that, which can be experienced different from oneself, is ajnana and its effect. Drishya Jatam. Bhuma alone is Brahman. But what do I gain from this analysis? What is the conclusion? Tatha cha मूलाज्ञान तत्कार्यभूत दृश्य प्रपंच मात्रस्य ब्रह्मणः अन्यत्वात् तदेवात्र सकल दुःख निदानम इति उक्तम भवति. What should I understand? What should I learn from all this analysis of 7th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, the dialogue between Narada Maharshi and Sanat Kumara? सकल दुःख निदानम इति उक्तं भवति. This is the root cause of all sorrows. Sakala dukkha nidanam. Nidana, again we had seen, root cause. Sakala dukkha, all sorrows. This uktam bhavati, it has been said. This is the root cause of all sorrows. What is the root cause? Mula jnana तत्कार्यभूत दृश्य प्रपंच मात्रस्य ब्रह्मणः अन्यत्वात्. Mooladhyana. Mooladhyana, the ignorance. What ignorance? Not of an object, but of one's true self. Ignorance, that not knowing I am that unsurpassed happiness principle Brahma. This ignorance or ignorance of Brahma Atma Aikya, that ajnana is Moola Jnana. And Tat Karya Bhuta, the effect of that ignorance is Drushya Prapancha Matra. All this entire creation is Drushya Prapancha. And this is Brahmanaha Anyatvat. Because it is different from Brahman, it is cause of sorrow. It is the root cause of sorrow. Simple. If something is of the nature of happiness or source of all happiness, everything which is different from that will be source of sorrow. We have either two options. The source of sorrow can be Brahman itself or that which is different from Brahman. Because Brahman cannot be source of sorrow, that which is different from Brahman, which is the ajnana of Brahma, will be source of sorrow. Tadrusha dukkha nidanasya dvaita prapanchasya mooladhyana sahitasya, of that root cause, tadrusha, of that type, dukkha nidanasya, the root cause, dvaita prapanchasya, this duality, a creation full of duality. Dvaita prapancha. Prapancha born of dvaita or dvaita eva prapancha. What is this prapancha? This duality, difference between me and something else. This itself is samsara, this itself is prapancha. Moola jnana sahita, but not at superficial level. Let's just reel back and understand. Of course, this analysis will be taken up later, but because the clarity will be much better here, let's understand. While analyzing the sources of sorrow, because we are being told right now, it is easier. But how do we convince ourselves and understand? How do we convince ourselves and understand that this analysis is right and appropriate? So we have to conduct our own analysis to affirm that whatever we have heard is right. So let's say right now I am experiencing sorrow. Say I have a leg pain or a hand pain. So that sorrow is not experienced when I go to sleep. I am not experiencing that sorrow when I go to sleep. Or let's take a very critical example and which can be very much evident, a cancer patient who is undergoing chemotherapy. He is under tremendous pain. He cannot move. He cannot be in any happy condition because all the time he is suffering. But when he goes to sleep, all that sorrow is lost. That's why they have usually, I am not sure, but this is what I have heard and I have read. The methods may have changed over the period of time, but they have morphine drip by which the pain is reduced. What happens is that experience of duality is gone. When person goes to sleep, the experience of duality is gone, and because the experience of duality is gone, sorrow also has gone away. So it can verily be concluded that when I experience duality, I experience sorrow. In absence of duality, sorrows go away. But the problem is, in sleep, the duality goes away temporarily. When we wake up, that duality comes back. And so the sorrows which were there. Now there must be a state where all those sorrows cannot touch me, for which we have to understand what is that because of which in waking state all those sorrows come back. And the only solution or the only logic to which we can come to is the experience of duality, and its cause is ignorance. The cause for experience of duality can alone be ignorance, nothing else. There is a long analysis for that. Of course, the text will cover up that later, but let me just give you a gist. I am experiencing duality because I think that duality to be real. Even though I know in my sleep I am not experiencing duality, that means it goes into laya, it goes into dissolution, I still give that duality the reality which it should not be given. It has that temporariness, limitedness, which should not be given. Based on this logic, there must be the ignorance because of which I am giving reality to this experienced duality. And that ignorance must be the cause because of which that duality comes back. Therefore, it has been said, Dvaita prapanchasya moola jnana sahitasya neti neti iti. Along with its root cause, moola jnana sahita. Why? Because Dvaita prapancha goes away in sleep. But only in aparoksha brahma jnana, that root cause, ignorance, also will go away. And how this has been said, it has been said in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad by neti neti, na iti, na iti. What is that Brahman? The Brahman is not this, not this. Nasthulam, ananam, asthulam, ananu, arhasvam, adirgham, etc. It is not big, it is not small, it is not atomic, it is not large, it is not heavy, etc. Because all these adjectives are used for whatever that we experience. In other words, whatever that is experienced different from me is not Brahman. इत्यादि श्रुत्युक्तिरीत्या स्वरूपतः निवृत्तौ सत्यामेव. In this way, श्रुति उक्तिरीत्या, श्रुतेः उक्तिरीत्या, as per the ukti, as per the explanation of Shruti, the Upanishads, Swarupatah nivruttau satyam eva, only when Swarupataha nivruttau, that root cause is nivrutta, is destroyed, uh, removed, then alone satyameva निखिल दुःखानां निशेषतः निशेषतया नियमेन निवृत्तिः उपपद्यते. निखिल दुःखानां, of all sorrows, nisheshataya, without leaving anything behind, niyamena, always, there is no option, always, all the time, nivrittihi upapadyate. See how beautifully the answer has been given. The earlier, when Vishayas were uh, of removal of sorrows with other means was given, it was said, Niyamena nivrittihi na. You don't see that removal of sorrow all the time. Medicine may work for some, it may not work for some. It may work sometime for someone, but other time it may not work. Even though it has worked at particular time, that sorrow can arise, come back. So by those means, removal of sorrows takes place, but it is not nishesha and it is not niyamena. It is not complete removal of sorrow. What do we mean by complete? Once it has been removed, it will not come back. And because it comes back, it is not total cessation of sorrow. And because it is not niyamena, it is not always, as a rule, it is impermanent. But here, the removal of sorrow is nishesha and niyamena. It will be seen always. Whoever has gained aparoksha brahmajnana, for him the destruction of sorrow is seen, and that destruction is total destruction where those sorrows can never come back. Tasmat, therefore, one who is trying to analyze his own life and trying to find the means by which these sorrows can be removed permanently, for him निशेष दुःख निवृत्तये समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्ति रूपे मोक्ष लक्षण विशेषणांशे जायेतैवेच्छा. Therefore, the one who is desirous of removing sorrows completely, nishesha dukkha nivruttaye, he will come to an understanding for that समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्ति रूपे, he has to destroy ignorance along with its effect. And once he understands that, he will desire for destruction of ignorance along with its effect. And that's what we have said by the first part of definition. Samula jnana prapancha nivrutti rupe. Prapancha nivrutti, destruction of creation, dissolution of creation along with its cause, that is ajnana, which was moksha lakshana visheshananshe. Moksha lakshana visheshana, a part of definition, the first part of definition of moksha. Jayetaivecha, the desire shall arise. He will desire. He may not desire right now, but the one who is inquisitive and the one who is trying will desire. So your statement that nobody can desire is wrong. They may not right now, but they will, they surely will, they definitely will. Here, a tippani has been given. This tippani is very beautiful and very logical. That's why I have included. Otherwise, I include those tippanis in explanations. But let's just see. The tippani is, समूला ज्ञान जगन्निवर्तनेच्छा सर्वेषां जायेत इति अत्रैवम् आशंका जायेत. Everybody will desire for samula jnana jagannivartana. Jagannivartana, destruction of entire creation along with its cause, that is ignorance. There, one point was raised by an opponent that the desire can arise for only that thing which has been experienced. To which answer has been given two ways. One is in Tippani. What is that answer? प्राग अनुभूत वस्तुनि एव इच्छा जायेत न तु अननुभूते. What was said by the opponent? Prag anubhuta vastuni eva. In that object which has been experienced earlier, in that object alone. Now, how it's like a lawyer arguing in a court. Now, both lawyers are going to use the statement as per the words which have been used. प्राग अनुभूत वस्तुनि एव इच्छा जायेत न तु अननुभूते. What did you say? You had said desire shall arise in the object which was experienced earlier alone. To which now answer is given. Or actually here there is extension of that objection. Nahi ब्रह्मरूपाधिष्ठान साक्षात्कारेण समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्तौ मुमुक्षोः पूर्वानुभवः अस्ति. मुमुक्षोः पूर्वानुभवः न अस्ति. Of that mumukshu who is desirous of moksha, desirous of liberation, there is no purvanubhava. He does not have prior experience. Prior experience of what? ब्रह्मरूप अधिष्ठान साक्षात्कारेण समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्ति. Only when ब्रह्मरूप अधिष्ठान साक्षात्कार, the adhisthana, the basis of this entire creation is Brahman. This sakshatkara, this aparoksha jnana, and by this aparoksha jnana alone, samula jnana prapancha nivrutti, the prapancha nivrutti, the destruction of this entire creation along with its cause, ignorance, will take place. Here, okay, let's take a simple example to understand this statement. Because I know by taking crocin or any painkiller my headache stops, based on this experience, I will desire for taking that medication when I have headache again. Here, the answer, the Siddhanti uses his own words in a very beautiful way. The opponent is continuing, Ataha tannivrutti cha na kasyapi jayeta iti. Therefore, nobody will desire, because what the Siddhanti said, they will desire. But opponent is sticking to his second point. They cannot desire because they have not experienced that cause and effect. The Brahmajnana, Aparoksha Brahmajnana is cause, destruction of ignorance along with its effect is the effect. This cause and effect relationship has not been experienced by that person, and because it has not been experienced by that person, he will not desire. To which तन्न प्रागनुभूते एव इच्छा जायेत इति नियमस्य अभावात्. Answer is given. Tanna. It's not right. It is not appropriate. Why? Because the rule which has been said by you is not right. How carefully the words are being chosen. प्राग अनुभूते एवेच्छा जायेत इति नियमस्य अभावात्. See how apart from this analysis, how carefully we have to use words and statements, and how we how beautiful it is to know that how we understand one particular statement. Now, the earlier example which I gave you, because of taking that tablet, my headache stopped. Because I took that particular painkiller, my headache stopped. Then do you desire to take that particular pill, or the pill which has been prepared by that same brand and has same composition? What is your understanding? When I take a Combiflam, say, or Crocin, I desire to take Crocin again, not the tablet which I had taken at that time. What have you experienced? You have experienced that effect of that tablet, not Crocin. This point has been picked up. You do not desire for the object which has been experienced earlier, but the object which is similar to that which has been experienced. Let me restate. You do not desire for the object which was experienced earlier, but you desire for the object which is sajatiya, similar to that which has been experienced earlier. For which example is given. If this was the case, that I desire the object which was experienced earlier, then tatha sati atita bhojanadav ichha punarapi prasajyeta. I will desire for the same food which I have eaten earlier. It's like that story of Birbal and Akbar. Birbal's that the story continues as because Birbal's that child, he is crying, and because of which he comes late to the court. Akbar says, how can you say that it is difficult to pacify that child? Birbal says, let me behave like a child. Without getting angry, you should calm me down. Then Birbal starts crying, he starts shouting, he starts throwing tantrums, and he says he wants a sugar cane. Akbara brings sugar cane. He says, no, I don't want complete sugar cane. Actually, I want it in pieces. Akbara asks his sevaka to cut that sugar cane in half. When that sugar cane is cut and given, for some time, the Birbal as if plays and says, no, I want the bigger one. I want complete sugar cane. Akbara says, bring another one. Birbal says, no, I want this same sugar cane which was given to me earlier. I want that to be complete. Same way, do we desire for the food which we have eaten earlier? No. We want the same quality of food. Because we understand that experience, it has gone, it has passed away. I am not going to gain that experience again. Natu tatha bhavati. It is not so. Kintu, but पूर्वानुभूत भोजन सजातीये भोजनांतरे इच्छा जायते इति एव नियमः. Sajatiya. I experience for something which is similar to the object experienced earlier. Therefore, पूर्वोक्ता शंकायाः नावकाशः. The objection which has been raised by you right now, there is no space, there is no place for that argument. You can never say one will desire for something which has been experienced earlier. Further, the argument continues. Tatha yatha. Example is given. आरोपित सर्पस्य रज्जुधिष्ठानम. तथा आरोपित समूलाज्ञान प्रपंचस्य ब्रह्माधिष्ठानम् इति रज्जुब्रह्मणोः अधिष्ठानत्वांशे वांशे साजात्यम् अस्ति. Now he is putting forth the similarities based on which the desire shall arise. Aropita sarpasya rajju adhishthanam. As for superimposed snake, the snake which was seen on rope, for that snake, the basis adhisthana is rope. Similarly, aropita samula jnana prapanchasya adhishthanam. The basis for ignorance along with its effect, which is creation, Brahman is basis. So they both are adhisthana, which is the similarity between those two. Similarly, आरोपित सर्पनिदान निवृत्तेः आरोपित समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्तश्च अस्ति परस्परम साजात्यम. There is a sajatyam, similarity between आरोपित सर्पादि निवृत्तेः. For आरोपित सर्पादि निवृत्ति, for the destruction of that snake, and for the destruction of aropita samula jnana prapancha nivrutte cha. The superimposed snake and superimposed creation along with its cause ignorance. For destruction of these two there is similarity, where because in knowledge of adhisthana the destruction of those respective superimposition will take place. So for the destruction of both superimposition, the knowledge of their basis should take place. Mumukshoscha purvam rajvadi adhisthana sakshatkarena sarpadi nivruttavanubhavaha asti. The desirer of liberation has experienced earlier that when he sees rope, the delusion of snake goes away. The superimposition of snake goes away on seeing rope. Tataha cha sajatiyayam nikhila drishya prapanchadhisthana bhuta brahma sakshatkar prayukta samula jnana prapancha nivruttau. Statement is simple. Similarly, the destruction of ignorance along with its effect, which is this entire creation, will be seen in the knowledge of its basis, the adhisthana, which is Brahma. And what type of knowledge? Sakshatkar prayukta, the aparoksha Brahmajnana. Therefore, he will desire for aparoksha Brahmajnana. End. How beautifully it has been said. Simple. Before we go further, let's understand the argument which we have seen. Let's understand. The argument started with, will one desire for destruction of sorrow, will he take destruction of ignorance along with its effect, which is creation, as a solution? Opponent says he will not, he can never. Why? Because he destroys sorrow by other means. To which answer was given, even though he may try, he understands, he comes to an understanding that all those means are incapable of removing that sorrow permanently and always. So he will desire for a means by which those sorrows can be removed permanently and will be removed always, all the time. And when he conducts inquiry in this sense, by different means because he will read Shastra, etc. He will come to know, or he will hear somewhere, any means, by any means, or maybe he has heard but he has not understood that at that moment. He will come to an understanding only when the destruction of ignorance along with its effect takes place by Brahmadhyana. Then alone destruction of sorrow, complete destruction of sorrow will take place. To which again one argument which he had said earlier was made, but he has not experienced this cause effect relationship. And because he has not experienced, he will not desire. To which the answer was given, your niyama, the rule that you have put forth is wrong. It is not that person desires for the thing or object which has been experienced earlier, but he desires for similar object. And because he has seen the destruction of superimposed snake in its basis adhisthana rope, he will desire to destroy this superimposed jagat in its adhisthana basis Brahman, or the knowledge of Brahman. Therefore, person will desire to gain for Brahmadhyana, by which he will remove ignorance along with its effect, that is creation. Now, the second akshepa, no one can go for Brahmadhyana in the same way. He will again say, because he has not experienced Brahman, how can he desire for Brahman? That will be answered, but that we will see next time. It will be answered in a slightly different way. We will also see the other explanation, but that we will see next time. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.